Hey everyone, it's Julia in the van with Bambi Dog. And it's been 3 nights since the police came knocking on the door. This is my home. This is what I want to do, and this is where I want to be. I never signed any contract to be a part of anything that says I have to live somewhere in particular or do something in particular. This is what I want, and it's not okay with them. Another thing that I want to do with my life that's not okay with them. It's just not right. I mean, this van is adorable. Right, Bambi? That is so not right. Well, let me tell you what happened. And happy Thanksgiving to you all. Look, I got Bambi a little Christmas stocking. It hangs over her bed. So, let me start by saying this. I have clearly identified for myself the absolute worst aspect of living in a van. I mean, it kills any other complaint that anyone could make about living in a van. This is the worst, totally worst aspect of living in a van. Worse than piddle pails, worse than breakdowns, worse than dust and fur, which let me tell you has been driving me crazy today. Worse than getting woken up in the middle of the night. Worse than having to take a shower in a gym. Worse than people thinking you're a lowlife. Worse than living in the cold of winter or the heat of summer. The absolute worst aspect of living in a van is it's illegal. It's just not right. So let me tell you what happened. It was 3 nights ago, Tuesday night. I had just met up with my family in a beautiful location, Sunset Cliffs in Ocean Beach. And that night I just was like, I pulled into a spot on the main street where a lot of van dwellers park, which has, even though there's been a law that it's illegal and it's flipped back and forth from time to time, but overall it's generally illegal to live in a vehicle. They have not enforced it there at all. And so a lot of people park there, and in my discussions with residents and locals, nobody seems to mind in that area. There's another area where they're just, during the day, they'll come over to your vehicle and put a flyer on it and try and scare you off or call the police on you. And I've experienced that too. But I parked, and 2:30 a.m. in the morning, I hear knocking on the side of my van, and I see a flashlight. I immediately jump out of the back into the front. And then the police, 2 policemen come around, and they go, there she is. Or there they are. And comes over here. I roll the window down. He goes, ma'am, are you sleeping in your van? I say, no. He proceeds to tell me the law against sleeping in the van anyway. It wasn't like I convinced him. He says basically the law. But he says that something has been renewed or changed or something in the court, and now they're enforcing the new law, which is the old law. You cannot habitate in your vehicle on public streets or property between the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. or any time within 500 feet of a school or a church or a residence. And let me just say, how hard is it to find somewhere to park, even in a park, anywhere where there's not a residence nearby? And there's residences over there, they're everywhere. You have to basically be in like a grocery store parking lot or a business parking lot of some kind. And the problem with that is, after about an hour or so, they'll come over and kick you out because you're not supposed to be loitering. So it's really actually very hard to find a place just to park. And after 6 a.m., it becomes super scary. So, 6 p.m. So anyway, he proceeded to tell me the law. He says you can't park to 6 a.m., 6 p.m., next to schools and property. And he says, and the new law goes like this. First, you get a warning. Second time you get caught, you get an infraction. I still have yet to figure out exactly what that is, and if it's some kind of ticket that would require you to actually go to court or something that would remain on your record. 3, if you get caught the third time, you get a hefty, big, fat ticket. 4, if you get caught, people, living in a van, you go to jail. Effing jail. Jail. With criminals. So that is the new law as explained to me. And then what happened was he asked for my ID, and I'm like, oh crap, here we go. All this time I've been trying to get this done, and here it is. Here's the moment of truth. So I pull it out and I go, sir, I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of a name change. I start pulling out my papers. I'm like, look, here's what's happening. I'm publishing it in a newspaper. I'm waiting for the court date. And he goes, I don't need to see any of that. And he looks at my ID and starts taking down all the information. And that was that. Now, I don't know if they were so focused on the van dwelling itself that they weren't. He didn't even look at my registration or insurance. I don't even know, now that I think of it, and I was thinking of this after, whether he got it that this was a vehicle from California, registered in California, with an ID from South Carolina. I don't think he put the two together. That could be the case. Or he could just be enforcing the one law and not the other, in which case if another policeman wanted to stop me for whatever reason, that it might actually be a problem. I don't know. All I know is I came out of this whole situation I'll finish telling you about feeling a little bit blessed, scared and blessed and tired, because I didn't get in trouble for my ID thing. So that was awesome, right? So anyway, so that happened, and then he goes, all right, let me take a picture of you. And he's got his camera right here. And I'm like I couldn't stop smiling for the picture. It was like goofy, like, hi, officer, this is going to be in your books. I'm like illegal person. And that's what makes me so upset about it, is I don't want to be illegal because I'm a good girl. So anyway, they took the picture, and then I was like, thank you. I didn't say thank you, sir, but I was like, sir, for everything. Basically, very respectful. They could see, I wasn't on drugs or whatever or doing anything wrong. Even though I look like a punk right now. So then they start to walk off, and then the one goes, oh, we forgot to tell you, by the way, you can't stay here tonight because that would be breaking the law. So you have to go. And I'm like, okay, I will. So I sat in here for a while, and I heated up the van, opened the curtains, sprayed my face with water to wake up. It's 2:30 in the morning. I got to find somewhere else to park. And anywhere else I find to park is going to be illegal. I certainly can't park on the beach where I was, so I have to go inland somewhere. So, and one of the other things he said was when he asked for a local residence, I said, the La Mesa residence. And he was like, and the other thing they did, yeah. So one of the things they did was tell me about, first of all, he said, you're going to have to go somewhere else. He goes, National City. He said this was citywide, within the city limits of San Diego. He goes, you can go to National City or La Mesa. Like, don't you live there? Why don't you go there, La Mesa? It was kind of funny. But anyway, one of the other things they did was hand me this safe parking flyer. So ridiculous. And he goes, you have to check in by 6. And right there, I burst out laughing. Not disrespectfully. It was like, imagine you had a full-time job in Southern California and you got off at 5 or even 4:30 and you tried to drive home wherever you are and get there by 6. Not going to happen. No one can get in their house, no matter what the house they have, by 6 p.m. Come on. You need to go grocery shopping. You need to do laundry. You need to walk your dog, whatever the case is. That is so ridiculous. So it says safe parking program. Are you living in your vehicle or RV? Do you know someone who is? The safe parking program can help. Safe overnight parking for individuals and families. On-site supportive services and resource assistance. Requirements. Participation in supportive services. Must have a functioning vehicle, no motorcycles or tents. Now, I don't mean to be crude about this nice thing that they're offering people who need it, but as most of you watching realize, a lot of us van dwellers are doing this on purpose. In a sense, we're bucking the system by, it's not just avoiding rent and bills and a money issue. It's that, but it's also, as we know, the sense of freedom, control over our own lives, minimalism, and mobility, and privacy, or not having to live with roommates. So that this doesn't apply. I don't want services, and I certainly don't want to be told to come in somewhere at 6 p.m. So this is great for those people who need it. It really is. But I don't need it, and I don't want it, and it doesn't work for me. It's just ridiculous. So that's that. I laughed. So now we are in Lynn. We decided to come to the sewing studio, and we were actually able to park there Wednesday night, and because Thursday was Thanksgiving and it was all quiet and no one was coming in there. And then we parked there also Thursday night, and I got up kind of late and everybody was working all around. And then last night we parked next to Planet Fitness because it's 24 hours and I felt safe, and I also realized they had Wi-Fi there. So now I don't know where we're parking tonight. And I've been sort of trying to gauge, is this law, are they enforcing it in these areas inland? So it seems not in the parking lot where Planet Fitness is. Excuse me. I'm still actually a little bit sick. I keep going in and out of it. I'm all stuffed up and it's not really going away. I don't think I've ever been sick this long. Just slightly sick. I don't know. By the way, it's freezing here, and it's been raining for like 3 days straight. So today it hasn't been raining, but 3 days before that, nonstop, pretty much, which is unusual for San Diego. But I went up to a park area and saw the van dweller that has his crap all over his van. And I ended up talking with him. I was trying to gauge whether they're enforcing it here or not, and if I could park over there. And he says, well, I park here all the time, but he's got a pink slip on his van that says no inoperable vehicles, which just means he's been parked there too long. And they told him to get all the crap off the top of his van, so he took it off and put it in the front of his van with the tarp over it, and it's sitting there like that. And I give him trouble. I said, look, this is the problem with this. This is why they want to enforce. This is why they don't like us. This is why it's a problem for the community. He's like, I know. And I'm sorry. I say, I'm sorry to be critical, but this is a problem. So, I speak my mind. So anyway, I gauged from him that you could possibly park there. Across the street is another one of my parking spots from where I am now, and I'm too scared to park over there, but I just need to observe late night and see where people are parking. So, and then we may, once I get my court date, just drive inland, like to Anza Borrego or even further into Quartzsite, Arizona maybe, and get out of San Diego for about a month or maybe 3 weeks. I don't want to come anywhere near missing my court date, which also could be waived once nobody contests my name change. But I need to be here for that in time, no doubt. So, I don't know what we're going to do next. I'm scared, but I feel better now that I'm inland. But I want to talk about this, before I let you go, this illegal thing and how ridiculous it is. Sometimes I imagine, what would it be like if it were not illegal? How fun would it be to live in a little rolling cabin, which is what this is. It's so cute. How fun would it be? How much more energetic would you be? I hate the feeling of being illegal and being, hiding. And it's sort of made me a little more paranoid living in a van. And more those weird people, a lot of homeless people are like this, where they're just you walk by them and you're like, I always say hi to everyone. I go, hi. And they don't say hi. And it's they're all weird, navigating the landscape, trying to find places to hide and to be because they don't have somewhere to be. That whole vibe, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I like to be a part of the community in a positive, interactive way. I don't want to be hiding, and I really hate that about it. So I often imagine what it would be like if it wasn't illegal. And let me just say, they don't even have to make this illegal. All they have to do is enforce the laws that already exist. And don't we all know there are so many laws? I mean, what were the founders trying to prevent in the first place? They were trying to prevent our founders of this country only a couple hundred and so years ago. They were trying to prevent a big, bloated, controlling government. And that's what we have now. There are so many laws. So let me just point out a few. Say it was not illegal to habitate in your vehicle. The police could enforce the laws they're not enforcing now. Don't park longer than 72 hours in one area. They don't enforce that. Here they're coming down on us with this new, to the point of jail if you get caught 4 times. But we've got RVs living all around here. People find a place to park that's safe and they stay there for months. That's a problem. All you have to do is enforce that, and a lot of the trouble of people hanging out too long and putting their crap everywhere would be over. Secondly, litter. There are plenty of litter laws. You see those signs on the side of the highway, $1,000 for littering, $1,500 for littering. I'd like to actually see them enforce that sometime. They never do. You don't catch people littering. Well, you could pull up on an RV with litter right around their RV that you can obviously see is potentially their litter and question them about it. Public urination. Everywhere I park, that's a consistent place that people park. You open your door and there's the smell of urine. And it's you guys doing it. You don't see no broads sitting outside squatting in their skirts on the street. Stop public urinating. I wish the police would enforce that. In fact, as a side note, maybe this is too embarrassing to tell. Yes, it's too embarrassing to tell. It's not about me. It was about my mom. Anyway, edit. Public urination. Yeah, you don't need to be peeing outside your vehicles. It's not that hard to stick that thing into a piddle pail. It's a lot easier than what I have to do, which is why I love my little toilet so much. I hate piddle pails at this point. And then things like just weird perverts, like people who are actually a danger and a menace to society. Track that shit. Excuse my language. Check their registration. Are they registered as a sex offender? Check that stuff. Question them. Enforce these laws that are already in place instead of making another law that it's illegal to live in your vehicle. And the reason it's illegal to live in your vehicle is because of people parking in one spot forever, littering, public urination, perverts. That's why it's illegal, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't be such a problem. You can't make a law against people because other people who have to pay mortgage and rent are pissed off at you. If you're not causing any trouble, it shouldn't be a problem. This is America, for God's sakes. So pissed about it. So we've been lucky for a long time parking here in San Diego, and I'm really grateful for that. But I need to have my whole name change thing completed so I can move on. Not that it's going to be any better where I move on to. I don't know what it's going to be like. But I know in San Diego, did I say St. Louis before? I mean San Diego, that it's the SHTF scenario for van dwellers. Now, when this all happened, I texted a group of friends who are all van dwellers and just let them know. And they're like, why don't we just park over here or over there? And then I went to the mechanic shop to my sewing studio and told them what happened. And they were all like, well, I've always seen people over here or over there. It doesn't matter where people parked in the past. This is a new law. How much are they going to enforce it? Probably a lot at the beach. Who knows out here? Doesn't matter where you parked before. Everything's new. So tonight I'm going to check this side road. It's one of the places I showed you, and see if there's vehicles there back to back. And if there are, I'm going to risk it over there, I think. We could park in this one place. There's a restaurant here. It's 24 hours. I've parked here before. But again, I'll see if the other parkers that are usually here are parked here or not. People are pretty blatant with their parking around here. How much has changed? So that's my update for you. We're doing fine. Thanksgiving was great, and I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving as well. Sorry I didn't do a video. I was focusing on sewing and visiting with family, which was wonderful. But we're doing fine. This is just, I don't want to go to jail. Are you kidding me? I could go to jail for traveling around in a van? What happened to the 70s and 80s when all the families were traveling around in their vehicle, in their RVs and their little conversion vans with a family trip? What is the difference? Somebody's going to have to straighten this out and figure out what's the difference between Americans traveling on vacation and Americans just traveling. Their life is more of a vacation. What is the difference? Nothing has been specified here. Do you see how this is a problem? Right now, my cousins and my aunt and uncle are in an RV, driving down the road, living in their vehicle. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm all right. Like I said, everything's been super blessed for me. I'm doing gratitude lists in the morning in my mind of everything I'm grateful for, coming to tears about that gratitude. I suggest that for you if you are feeling bad. Great thing to do is a gratitude list. Just start small. I like ice cream. I'm just so glad I was able to just eat that chocolate fudge sundae. Oh my God, how lucky am I? And build up to, oh my God, I have a running beautiful van. Oh my God, my children. My hand's starting to shake because I've been holding this so long. Gratitude lists, very, very useful. So let's see. Well, wish us luck. We're rebels, I guess. Outcasts, outliners, um, degenerates? No, I don't think so. All right, I will let you go. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Please subscribe. We're gonna have more van life videos. We've got I've got a good idea for separating my channel into two parts again. So I'll tell you all about that once I get it formulated. But please subscribe to my channel and like it if you like it and share it if you want to share it. Just do what you want to do. I'm not going to try and tell you what to do, all right? So thanks for watching, and you all have a very, very blessed day. Don't let fear rule our lives. No, 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 no. Yes to the goodness. I can't stop talking.